Hi Young Lovers! Welcome back to the Young Lovers channel. That day began as usual, with a clear sky stretching out without a cloud in sight, and the fresh morning air promising a day full of energy. But who could have guessed that the night would bring a storm no one saw coming? Wang Yibo, who was always full of energy, suddenly collapsed in the middle of practice. His teammates panicked, their hands trembling as they called for an ambulance, and in an instant, his usually agile body lay lifeless on the stretcher. No one had anticipated his condition was already so critical. The doctors tried to reassure the team, but their expressions spoke volumes. Behind the ICU doors, machines hummed constantly, monitoring his weakening heartbeat. Each beep felt like a countdown, and everyone who knew him could only pray in silence. Xiao Zhan, who was filming at a different location at the time, immediately canceled his entire schedule upon hearing the news. His face was pale, his eyes vacant, but his steps remained swift. He didn't even care about the cameras or paparazzi following him. The only thing on his mind was Yibo. Upon arriving at the hospital, Xiao Zhan immediately headed to the ICU. Through the glass, he saw Yibo's lifeless body, connected to a dozen medical devices. His breathing was heavy, but he held back his tears. A doctor approached, handing him a medical report, and at that moment, the world seemed to stop spinning. Xiao Zhan read it slowly, word by word, and suddenly his hands began to shake. His usually expressive eyes went blank, as if he couldn't believe what he had just read. His colleagues tried to calm him down, but he remained silent, as if locked in his own world. Those around him were confused. What exactly was written in the medical record? Was Yibo's condition worse than they had thought? Or was there something they didn't know? Xiao Zhan didn't speak, but the tears that suddenly fell said it all. That night, the hospital corridor felt quieter than usual. Xiao Zhan sat on the waiting chair, his head bowed, his hands clutching the medical records tightly. Some staff tried to comfort him, but he only shook his head slowly, as if no words could express his feelings. Meanwhile, in the ICU, Yibo's heartbeat remained unstable. The doctors continued to monitor him, their faces tense. Every second felt like an eternity, and everyone could only wait, hoping for a miracle to come. Fans who heard the news began flooding social media with prayers and hopes. The hashtag #PrayForYibo trended within minutes, and thousands of messages of support poured in from all over the world. But amidst all of this, Xiao Zhan remained silent, as if the outside world no longer mattered. Several hours later, one of the doctors emerged with a weary expression. He spoke softly to Yibo's manager, and their expressions grew even more somber. Xiao Zhan watched them from a distance, and without needing further explanation, he knew Yibo's condition had not improved. He finally stood up, his steps unsteady as he made his way to Yibo's room. Through the glass, he looked at his friend's pale face, and for the first time since arriving, he spoke. His voice was soft, almost inaudible, but filled with pent-up emotion. "You have to hold on," he whispered. "I can't lose you." Outside, the rain began to fall, as if nature itself was feeling the sorrow that had descended. Xiao Zhan stayed there, keeping watch all night, refusing to leave even as staff and colleagues urged him to rest. The following days were filled with uncertainty. Yibo's condition remained critical, but there were slight signs of stabilization. The doctors said it was a good sign, but they still had to be cautious. Xiao Zhan, though exhausted, remained loyal, waiting as if he didn't want to miss a single second. Fans began sending letters and gifts, hoping to give him encouragement. Some even gathered outside the hospital, though they weren't allowed inside. They just wanted to be near their idol, even if only symbolically. Amidst all this chaos, one thing is clear: the relationship between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo is more than just colleagues. They are friends, perhaps even more than that. And when one of them falls, the other will stand firm, waiting, hoping, and praying without ceasing. Still with me on the Young Lovers channel, and as you know, Yibo's struggle continues. But today, a glimmer of hope has begun to emerge. The doctor stated that Yibo's condition is slowly showing improvement. Though still weak, his response to treatment is starting to become evident. Xiao Zhan, who has been like a loyal shadow at the hospital, finally smiled slightly for the first time. But the journey is still long. The medical team explained that Yibo needs a significant amount of time to recover. Years of stress and fatigue cannot be healed overnight. Xiao Zhan has begun to reorganize his schedule, ensuring he can continue to support Yibo without neglecting his responsibilities. Their closeness is increasingly evident. Every time Yibo opens his eyes briefly, the first person he looks for is Xiao Zhan. Outside the hospital, fan support grew stronger. A charity project with the hashtag #StayStrongYibo successfully raised a significant amount of funds for the artist's medical expenses. Even other celebrities joined in, demonstrating the strong solidarity within the industry. Xiao Zhan quietly donated an amount that surprised the hospital staff, but he requested that it not be made public. However, behind all the hope, there was one lingering question. Could Yibo return to his former self? The doctors couldn't give a full guarantee. The high-pressure entertainment world might have to be left behind temporarily, or even permanently. But one thing was certain, Xiao Zhan had promised to support whatever decision Yibo made in the future. A few weeks later, Yibo was finally able to sit up and speak briefly. His voice was still weak, but his eyes shone when he saw Xiao Zhan. "I'm sorry," he whispered. Xiao Zhan simply held his hand tightly, no further words needed. At that moment, everyone in the room knew their bond was stronger than any illness. Meanwhile, the management of both artists began evaluating their work systems. Overly packed schedules, lack of rest time, and high pressure became valuable lessons. Many other agencies also started making changes, realizing that artists' health is the top priority. Perhaps this is a turning point for China's entertainment industry. Young lovers, the story of Yibo and Xiao Zhan teaches us one thing. Behind the glamour and spotlight, they are ordinary people who also need rest and support. Your prayers and love are their greatest strength. So, let's continue to stand by them through this difficult time. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss the latest updates. See you in the next video.